one thing which I wanted. If we come here, let's talk about things, but let's think about practical part of it. Not like we come here, as one of the speakers said, let's contribute, let's have consistency. But as a senior youth, I just wanted to ask you one thing, youth. Be practical. Let's talk about things here, but let's go back and reflect on what we have discussed here and put it in practical. Let me give you one tool. If you go back, buy a small book, write down one thing which I wanted you to say, your engagement. How you're going to be engaging yourself in the communities in different things, like I've been asking. So we've been talking about all this, how can we get connection, how can we do this, but the youth engagement is really very, very important to you. But how can you do it? Plan for yourself, write down from January up to December what you need to do. Put down everything you want to do. If you do that, definitely at the end of the year, you have to say, okay, I didn't do this, but I managed to do this.
Problems that we have. In my experience, working with parents and working with couples as well, is unrealistic expectations. That's a big one. It's a big one. For example, if you have 2 children, it's very easy to compare your children. If one of your child is academically smart, they get A's and B's. Your other child is more of a creative. Maybe if they took the same test, they will get a D or E. That doesn't mean that they're dumb or stupid, but the ways of assessment using to measure that child is intelligent is not fair. Now, as parents, we need to understand how our children are being assessed so that we can help them at home. You know, encourage them that who they are. We've spoken a lot about identity. Our identity and who we are is not the things that we achieve, but the people that we are, and that means our souls. You know, we're talking about the hearts of the people, socially competence, unrealistic expectation as couples. That's a big one.
Don't leave it to the school. You know, let me talk about one that nobody wants to talk about. No one wants to talk about sex. But I read a disturbing article lately that children as young as 4 years of age are having sex in the playground. Now you're thinking, come on, they don't even know what that's like. But you see these wonderful phones that you're given? Oh, my baby got the latest iPhone. They download pornography on the things. So when you're fast at work and you're working, and I know you're not coming to, we don't want to hear this, but your baby is watching pornography. And one of the things babies or children, they're very good at copying. And because they're innocent, so the next time he sees his little friend, he's thinking, oh, this is what they did. And they're messing around. And then, because mama is not there for the child to tell them. One of the things I encourage with my 4 children, when we come back from school, no TV. Why? Because I want you to sit at the table, Divine, I want you to tell Dorinda, how was your day today? Dorinda, I want you to tell Deborah, how was your day today? Because I want to encourage them to be able to know each other's business.
I just want to pick up from the comments I made at the start of this event. Because I know most young people are at that stage where they're either leaving university, a lot of young people, or they have left university, or they have left college, or they are looking for a job, or they are in their first job. So I wanted to say 1 or 2 things. It is not true, just because you have written 100 CVs and have not had an interview, it doesn't mean that life sucks. That is not true. It is true that the market is there is a bit of a problem in the labor market. but you need to keep at it and you get there.
Human love, your neighbor will not go without food. With human love, if Caroline organizes an event and asks you to turn up, you will turn up and support. I think I went a little bit off topic, but I really wanted to say something about human love. Anybody that knows me knows that I will not leave an event in order to talk about human love, because it's very, very, very important. Without human love, we're nothing, absolutely nothing. Now going back to the question of how the youth can get into entertainment without necessarily singing the Kanye West, whatever. I don't even know a Kanye West song, but I know there's some swearing in them, right? Yeah. Again, if there's any youth that wants to get into entertainment, you need to be conscious. I mean, who are you? Where are you going with your music or your comedy or your acting? What do you want out from it? You need to find who you are. That's the number one thing. It's not who you want to be like. It's not whether you want to be like Beyonce or Jay-Z. It's what you want out of the music. Is it your passion? And again, your passion should feed you. I was so impressed to see my sister there, my little sister, with her son here on stage. That's amazing. That's very, very encouraging. So for any youth that wants to get into entertainment, again I say, find out who you are, find out exactly what you want to do, because if you fall for everything, you're getting lost. And like I said earlier on, the world out there is a jungle. You'll be left on your own.
I also wanted to touch on a few things. When we make comments, we say a lot of things. We say things like, this person's a Ugandan, or this person's a Nigerian, or this person's a this and a that. We need to, all those types of things are labeling, and I'll explain that a little bit. We are all Africans. When people look at us, they don't see Ugandans and Nigerians, and they see Africans. And it's really important in terms of uniting together for us to think of ourselves as just that. Because when we start breaking it down to you're Ugandan, you're a Nigerian, oh, I'm a Luo, and I'm a this, and I'm a that. This is one of the issues of why we don't actually unite, and why when we come to the diaspora, there is no sort of African community, because everybody's kind of segregated. So we really need to have that in mind and really work towards sort of getting together and not label each other.
Tell the child how bad the father is and how fair the world is to you. The child begins to hate the father, begins to hate, if he hates his father, he can hate anybody on the streets. You make him hate the society. This government is crazy. A child should be allowed to grow as a child. Because with that in mind of a child, from the age of 2, 3, 4, he can't aspire to be a medical doctor. He doesn't want to be mentored by anyone, because the first mentor a child knows is the parent before going out there. So we don't want this cycle to continue. Let us enlighten our parents, our children, not to make the same mistakes some of us made. Let them start a family because of love. Not because the guy is driving a Porsche car or the lady is beautiful. Do you love the baby, the lady? And try as much as possible to speak positively to your children, because you'll go in that direction. Fiesta International Magazine believes in supporting talents. So if you want to be featured as an entertainer, I throw it open, free of charge, will support you with this magazine. Put the platform. Thank you and God bless you.
Left Uganda when I was 20, went to Germany, got dropped into the fire, and I was very humble. But after 18 years in Germany, I became wild, because it is not easy for an African to live in Germany. And on top of that, I have my son with me here. I have a mixed race child. In Germany, they are niggers. In Africa, in Uganda, they are bazungu. So I really stood and held my son. Actually, he has no questions, because I have really empowered him. He can move any mountain. Any mountain. My parents told me I need to be a doctor. Why? My son went to school. I always had problems with him because what I wanted him to do, he couldn't do it. Something very simple. Until one day he said, "Mommy, I want to pick up the guitar." He picked up the guitar and I used to shout. I told him, "I'm going to break your guitar. Play Happy Birthday." He would not play it. So one day he came to me and said, "Mommy, can I play you? I want to play." I said, "Do it." He played me a Jimi Hendrix. Something so complicated. 2012.
And now I think the new change that's going to happen is me and my sister here, Catherine, we are young people, but we mentor young people as well. I'm coming from the sphere of let people who are starting to make the change, young people, be an inspiration to those who need the motivation, you know? So me and Catherine, we're part of an organization or a church, so to say, where we motivate people through the Bible with relevant truths. We have platforms like an open talent showcase once a month, where we have a platform where people showcase their comedy, their dance, their performing arts, anything that they want to showcase. There's a platform for that, totally free of charge in the city. What better way for you to express yourself and to get the motivation you need, you know? So that's something I wanted to share, I wanted to encourage you guys.
Charity begins at home. So I want to say thank you to all the parents who are teaching their kids the Ugandan culture, because when they go back home, they'll know how to.
I just briefly just want to say that this forum, I mean, every time we avail ourselves to knowledge, it's an important, I mean, we're building our futures. So for every young person who has taken out time to come here, I think it's a very good step. You're investing into your life.
No Twitter, check the profile. I get it, however, arts hustle. I took a while, made a profit for a bit of day, flipped in a few days. That was crazy. I'll be today be a new day. Could get ignorant like gay, conscious like Louis K. Got a couple dogs that will tell you better stand for I stands for independent class, I for an I, and I depend on I. The car I need to get by, and I stands for me. So I depend on myself to get this wealth. You need to depend on yourself to get this wealth. Say it, depend on yourself to get this wealth. Depend on yourself to get this wealth.
She's on fire, Caroline. Pauline Long, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Your message mainly focused on the entertainment industry, obviously. What message, if you can repeat it again, do you have for the youths out there that are looking to go into the entertainment industry?
Well, I'd just like to let them know that, you know, the entertainment industry is very wide, you know, it's very diverse, and you need to really know exactly what you're getting into. Who are you? Where are you getting into? What do you want out of it? Don't just get there because you see Beyonce's out there and Jay-Z's out there. What exactly do you want out of it? Is it a passion? Is it a career? Will it pay your bill? You need to know exactly what you want.
Okay, you touch on a subject that is really strongly mentioned by parents who have got kids that want to go into the entertainment industry. And normally the message is there's no money, you can't pay your bills. So parents tend to focus on giving their kids an education, not to be musicians or singers. I mean, what do you have to say about that?
I think times have changed with the right strategy. You know, look at people like D'banj, Wizkid, Josie Chameleon. You know, times have changed and people are making money. So strategically, that's why I said that they need to know who they are and what they want. They can make a living out of it. They can pay their bills out of it.
Pauline, thank you very much for your time and thank you for representing the Ugandans in the diaspora.
Thank you.
Sheyu Blano is the publisher of Fiesta magazine. Mr. Blano, what is the magazine about?
Well, Fiesta International magazine is about entertainment, African entertainment. We try to showcase African fashion, music, arts, and then talents, you know, and try to bring it out to the world, let the world see what's going on.
When you were speaking in there, you spoke mainly as a man, obviously, of African origin, and you represented the men out there. We've got we had an issue where it looked like they were mainly focusing on the women, and you had to speak out for yourself. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Because I think to create the necessary bonding in the home, the men actually play a very integral role to make that very possible. And I think that the matriarch image is quite publicized and quite celebrated, which is a good thing. However, the men also play very complementary roles, because some children will not listen to their moms because their moms pamper them and all of that. So it's important to bring the men into the fore to make sure that things are going on rightly. Because, for example, I've got all my kids are boys, you understand, and so when their mom says sit down there, they don't listen. The mom say sit down there, they listen. So that's important. I thought it was important for us to mention.
You spoke about how the mothers tend to react towards kids who have absent parents. Could you mention that to our viewers again?
Well, I think as they say, charity begins at home. Every problem in society begins from the home, and every bad egg in society is from the home. So sometimes the way the home is formed, it goes a long way to influence what kind of child you're going to raise in that home. If a home is built on love, where love is preached, no hate whatsoever is encouraged, such a child is likely to go out to loving people and not hating. By the time the mother tells the child, oh, your father is a bad person, is a wicked man, your uncle is terrible and all that, you are burning bridges. That child will need to cross over those bridges to get where he wants to get to. By the time you burn the bridges, the child just thinks he's lonely. He thinks the world is cruel, the world is wicked. So he hates people around him. And when you hate your family, you hate your parent, your tendency of hating everybody else on the street is there. So when some guys come, they come, take this knife, go and knife that person. Is to take, within the short time, you get convinced. So I think love and oneness, the bond, it's very genuine bonding. The only way you can bond the family together is with love. So when that genuine bonding is there, raising children in an atmosphere filled with love, it's very, very much achievable. So that's what I believe. The foundation of all of this is from the family. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This is one of the youths that has attended the forum, and his name is Jay Hustle. Jay Hustle, what have you learned from all the things that you heard in there?
I've learned quite a lot. So it's not one specific thing that I've learned. They've said so much in there. So depending on what topic you remind me of, I'll tell you what I've learned. But
do you feel like you've gained anything from taking part in this?
Just to sit there and listen, I've definitely gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of stuff that, like, in our everyday life that we do not know, and that's why we go astray and we go the wrong way. But that's why I support such organizations, because it enables people like young people like myself to kind of like have some knowledge, because without knowledge you cannot survive. It's like you will always go the wrong direction. So attending such organizations, I feel that there's a possibility I've left this place knowing that I'm going to make a few changes in my life.
One of the ladies that was representing tonight was Nino Mugisha. She can speak English, Luo, German, anything else?
Yeah, Swahili, but it's fading away.
Nino Mugisha, one thing that was really amazing in there when you were singing, you turned around and said you don't sing in any other languages apart from your language. Tell us more about that.
Because normally we grew up with English, right? And my older sister came to Germany in the 70s. And it came to a point, we lost like 3 years, we had no contact. And it came to a point when she called us one day on the phone, she couldn't speak the language anymore. And it's true, because when I went to Germany, there are not many Acholis in Germany. So we tend to lose out on speaking with each other. So when I came, I found one friend of mine, and another sister of mine came there as well. So we decided, let's keep to this language, otherwise we'll really lose it, because my English also sort of disappeared.
Okay. Well, it's really good now.
Through the German.
Yeah.
I speak slowly, so I don't make mistakes anyway. Okay. But I want to keep that language.
And all your music, as you said, is in Acholi?
Yes, it's mostly, it's all in Acholi. I tried, a new song, I tried it in English, but no, I don't like it.
I mean, we're short of time right now, but we would love to have you on the show one day. Would you?
That would be great. That would be great.
Okay, we'll arrange. And thanks for taking time out.
Thanks for having me, yeah? You take care.
Pipe.
Yeah, what up? What is born, y'all? You know, that's how I'm feeling right now when a woman interviewing live on TV like that.
Thank you for representing.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You know, each and every time when we come up, we have to show love for the people. Yeah, which is all good.
Okay. And Hype, obviously this is the youth forum that we're attending. What message have you got for the youths out there that are trying to go into the entertainment industry?
Yeah, the message is like sending the words to the people. Says like stay focused, be ambitious, and make sure no drugs. But still, you know, making love, you know, for the music and keeping send a good message. Poetry, like everybody keep together and keep sending a message to everybody. Education is very powerful. So I can say like edutainment. So education and entertainment is all worth it. So both much together, like, yeah.
And have you got any messages out there for our Ugandan viewers?
My Ugandan people, yo, what should you know? You know, I'm a state general, so whatever, anytime you want me over there. But peace up to everybody who come up and enjoy the music, entertainment, and send the words to everybody. You know, it's all about showing love to the people in our community worldwide, not only Ugandans, worldwide. Because I came with my homeboy right here, Lil P, from Rwanda, so it's like all about the unity. And Jamaica, Congo, Nigeria, Ghana, you know. Yo, I heard feels ODG says like, let's make it happen, like a zone to let's take it worldwide. But this is like bongo flavor, African, worldwide. African, because like me, I do lyrically, like hip-hop, R&B, and of course, Luo time, Acholi time, Uganda time, Story Chi, ha, Kobango. This is how we do, you know, worldwide. Each and every time when we come back, it's like that, yo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hyde.
And what's your name again?
Nancy.
Okay, Nancy. Okay, you know, it's like the president, the late president of America, like Nancy Reagan, right? So it's like so these are, oh Nancy. All right, like that, you know, this is how we do, man. Okay. But I tell you what, this is my last message to everybody out there. Entertainment, edutainment, keeping it real tight. The name is Hyper the Viper. Coming with the hype, the vibe, the Ram Ninja type. G-Town.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us is Deborah. Deborah is also the current Miss Uganda 2013. Deborah, you've taken part in the Youth Forum. What did you think about it?
I thought it was very empowering. It's very encouraging and motivating me as a person, as a young person, to work hard, to be a role model, to mentor other people, because there are people who have mentored me. So I'm giving back to my community, giving back to young people. Yeah.
When you were talking, you were one of the speakers today as well. The first thing that you did is address your culture. And could you just briefly mention it to our viewers, how you were taught and how you were brought up?
The way I was brought up is to, in a way, to be humble. You have to be a humble person to be respectful to elders, to be respectful to your community. And so I thought, with my culture, it's easier to interact with people. It's easier to communicate with people with the same culture. And so they're more accepting when you come with the same culture kind of thing. Yeah, so that's how I thought.
And what message do you have for the youths out there? Obviously, you are a role model now as well. What message do you have for the youths out there that look up to you?
To work hard. Listen to your parents. You need to... Obviously, your parents, they know what's best for you. If something is not being, like, let's say mentors, you need to find mentors outside your home if your parents are not your mentors. Your mentors, they're people you need, so they will not come after you, you need to go after them. You also need to be rooted. You need to know where you come from so that you're not easily influenced by people. You're not easily led by people. You need to know yourself, carry yourself with self-respect. Yeah.
Deborah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
William is one of the organisers and he's going to tell us about the foundation of this organisation. William, what is this all about?
Well, this is all about responsibility and trying to be relevant to our community. The Institute of Justice for Africa is a new way of thinking about Africans living in the diaspora, but also Africans at home. Our approach is quite different in the sense that we call it the new way of thinking. Being responsible takes a lot out of people. It does not necessarily mean that you're responsible because you're going to gain something out of an event, out of an activity, but realizing that there is, beyond money, there is a sense of humanity that we all need to know and do and be practical. This is all subscribed in what we call Ubuntu, and Ubuntu is the concept which made Nelson Mandela great.
I mean, this is about the youths, especially the youths living in the diaspora. Yeah. So obviously there's some people that couldn't make it here today, but what would they benefit from taking part in a forum like this?
It is what we think they will benefit is that we have started a conversation. And the conversation is not a one man or a two or a group of people. It is a conversation which needs to be put on the table for Africans living in the diaspora. And this conversation means to be open, to be direct, and talk about real issues which are affecting our community. I want to use the word community, though this conference forum today was narrowed down to the youth. And the idea was, what is the gap between the youth and the old generation? What is it that we miss out, and what is it that they miss out? So it is a new way of creating a conversation which has no ending.
So we can carry this conversation on next time then?
My call on everybody who has attended it today, go, converse to yourself, with yourself and people around you, and bring back what the outcomes of that conversation will bring, or will in terms of as an outcome, so that we will be able to have more conversations which are aimed at looking at the real problems.
Okay. William, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too, and thank you for your contributions to this forum.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can chat a bit more next time.
By all means.
Okay. Thank you very much. Today's event was about youth in England. What message do you have for youth out there that want to be musicians or models or dancers?
Basically, I'm just saying, if anyone wants to be a musician, dancer, if it's your dream, go out there and do it. No matter what anyone says to let you down, you know what you're capable of because you know who you are. So go out there and do what you got to do.
My message is to keep the faith, because with God in your life, you can do and exceed in everything, in every aspect. So keep God first and foremost at the front of your mind, and you would excel in every other way.
Thanks for your time, ladies.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the first Ugandan Youth Forum, and joining me right now is Jesper Ntege and Isaac Kajubi, who are the organisers. Mr. Ntege, what is your message to the youth out there, or what was this forum message to you?
Thank you so much. I would like to thank POW TV. The message today was the engagement. Mostly we are focused about the engagement of youth in our society, in our community as Ugandans, regardless your tribe, your age. But what matters is about your engagement in the communities.
What message did you have for the youth out there?
Okay, my message is that the youth can really go with their passions, run with the talents, and begin to make money out there, just like anybody else, say like the Bill Gates and everybody else, and they can make it. Yep.
So what is the next step from here? Where would the youth go from here? What
Yeah, as a person who is on planning committee, we've been planning this thing, and we have a way forward. From here, we shall have more forums, but in different areas, so that we can also give a chance to other youth from different, probably we could say next forum could be in Manchester, so that we can also attract those youth from Manchester. So we're going to have another planning meeting so that we can have a way forward. And I was so really, what can I use? I was so inspired by the youth who are really participated in this actively, in this forum actively.
Mr. Ntege and Mr. Demba, we're really running out of time, but we would like to make time to have you on our show so we can have a longer chat. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, we're so happy also to be, at least the time you have given us is really, very, very important. And for all the youth of UK, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel the Youth Forum went today?
Oh, it was wonderful. I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm so glad I came. Really honored to be part of the panel. And yeah, big credits to Caroline. She did a really awesome job. And we had, youths who actually asked us a few questions and stuff like that. That was really good dialogue. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
And what message do you have for the youth that didn't make it today?
For the youth that didn't make it today, please, dear youth, come and join us next time. We're going to be holding more workshops. We're going to be holding more events, and we really would love your presence. You're really important to us. You are the future.
Right now is the lady herself, the organizer, the chief organizer, Caroline. Caroline, how do you feel this event went today?
Oh, I feel it went awesome, and as you've got some comments back, everyone seems to have liked it, and we do plan to get some more in the future. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. Caroline, what is the next step from here? Obviously, there's some people that couldn't make it today. What would the next step be from here?
The next step from here has been discussed in the forum. We could open up blogs. We are going to do workshops, and we plan to do other events. And then from there, we can plan to go to Africa and take it to Africa too. Those are the next steps.
Okay. Keep us posted so we can let the rest of the youth know when to come and meet up and have a chat. Or
yes, I'll keep you posted, and I would like to invite all the youths with talent, whatever talent that you have or whatever visions and desires that you have, you should come and join your community. We want a community spirit, and we want to build future leadership that is healthy, the next generation. That was the forum, that was what it was about.
Caroline, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Nancy. Thanks ever so much.